Right, hello everybody, welcome to my third Train Sim World 2 video, where we shall be continuing our look at the Bakerloo Line scenarios. So if I just boot up the Bakerloo Line. Right, welcome to Queen's Park Station. This is a southbound service. This service travels to and terminates at Elephant and Castle. So just wait and see what the game wants us to do. Okay, so we need to unlock the doors. So if I press tab, we can move the mouse to unlock left, and that will open the doors. Just make sure our headlights are set up. Need to set the destination blind as well. So Elephant and Castle. And we also need to turn on our lights. If I just press 2 and go to the external cam, saloon lights are on, so that's okay. So if I press tab again, we can lock the doors. And move that to off and release. And we can now depart. There we go. Next station stop is Kilburn Park. Not Kilburn as the HUD is displaying. Kilburn is on the Jubilee line. We can now do 35 miles an hour on the London Underground. As soon as a driver sees the speed board, they can accelerate up to that speed. They don't have to wait until the rear of the train has passed the speed board like on the National Rail system. Just got to watch the train speed as we are currently on a downwards gradient of 2.1%. And here we are at Kilburn Park. Could have just done with bringing the train a bit more forward there, I think, so we could see the monitors as well. So we need to wait until 15:33 to close the doors. So that's in a few seconds. When the driver's waiting in the station, they'll be checking both the mirrors and monitors, and when they're ready to move, they need to check that the signal is clear before closing the doors and departing. It's very specific, the timing, and we've got to wait until 15:33:15. There we go, we can lock the doors now. Next station stop is at Maida Vale. and in a few hundred yards this speed limit is going to drop down to 30 miles an hour, so I need to shut the power off relatively soon. Just going to knock the speed of the train down. The gradient has now levelled out. In the last video we did a trip from Queen's Park to Harrow and Wealdstone and return, and I didn't really enjoy the last scenario. It was really because the passengers got in the way, and it would have been nice to have some AI trains running on the West Coast Main Line as well. Just to make it, just to bring the route a bit more to life. So here we are at Maida Vale. One thing I have actually noticed with this route in the tunnel sections is that we are missing the marker boards, which tells the driver how many carriages are still left in the platform. So next station stop is at Warrick Avenue. Speed limit is now 30 miles an hour, and in just under a mile it's going to drop down to 25. In fact, it's showing an increase now to 35, so no, I could have just misread that. It is 25. And here we are at Warrick Avenue. No, it's not a bad stop, that. Probably will have noticed that the game stopping markers are in the wrong position, though apparently Dovetail are working on a fix for that. I think they also need to have another look at the passengers as well, particularly for this route, because when you start empty, you find you've got some passengers in the cars, like empty from the depot. I've noticed that, or empty from Harrow. I've noticed I did a bit of a run in service mode, and I noticed that starting from the centre reversing siding in Harrow, they had my train already had passengers loaded on. So I think we might need to have a look at how the passengers are scripted, I think. In a moment we are going to do 25 miles an hour. And we are climbing uphill. Next station stop is at Paddington. which is the first of 4 major mainline termini that the Bakerloo Line serves. Paddington also serves as an interchange with the Hammersmith and City District and Circle lines. Next station stop is at Edgware Road. In a moment the speed limit will be jumping up to 35 miles an hour once again. I did say that, it's now changed to 30. Speed limit read out going to be 25 miles an hour in the next 100 yard time. I think we might need to look at that as well. Anyway, we're coming into Edgware Road now. I'll just be on the monitors there. And I've just opened the doors on the wrong side of the train, so I'll just lock the right hand ones. There we go. Some of the monitors are intentionally blank, as you've just noticed, as they are one of the many interactives on this route, which we will have a look at when we do when I get around to doing an on-foot exploration at some point. We can now lock the doors anyway. Next stop is Marylebone. This is the terminus of the Chiltern Main Line. Opening doors on the left again. Next station stop is at Baker Street. Speed limit still 25. The HUD is telling us it will soon raise up to 30. We are currently on a downward gradient as well as we approach Baker Street. Just need to move up a bit more so we can see the monitors. Baker Street serves the Jubilee, Metropolitan, Hammersmith and City and Circle. So the current speed limit is now 30 miles an hour. Next station stop is at Regent's Park. Regent's Park is the station for London Zoo. Opening doors on the right hand side this time. Next station stop is at Oxford Circus. We're going to drop the power down as we are due to do 25 miles an hour now. The next couple of 100 yards. We've got another speed drop down to 20 miles an hour coming up as we come around these tight curves. And here we are at Oxford Circus. Interchange for the Central and Victoria lines. Next station stop is Piccadilly Circus. We're currently on a downward gradient, so I need to watch the train speed. According to the HUD, the next speed change is 25 miles an hour, which is about 400 yards. But the speed has just jumped up to 30. This is one of the problems with Train Sim World, is that it still works off the National Rail way of speed monitoring. I.e. when the speed limit will change on the HUD once the rear of the train has passed the speed board. Which is why I just got a speeding penalty there. Then again, I am not struggling to see the some of the speed signs in the tunnels, and there's one that I've just noticed which is right down at the bottom. Really, it should be. I think it should be positioned further up the wall. But we're at Piccadilly Circus now. Change here for the Piccadilly Line. Piccadilly Circus is also the location where they have massive electronic advertisement boards. There also used to be a massive video games arcade called the Trocadero, which closed down years ago. I only went to it once. But I vaguely remember there was a Sega-based flight simulator there I went on. There was also an arcade machine for the Japanese rail simulator, Denture to Go. So I had quite a bit of fun with that. Anyway, here we are at Charion Cross, the third major mainline terminus served by the Bakerloo Line. Interchange is also available here with the Charion Cross branch of the Northern Line. Next stop is Embankment. Another interchange with the Northern Line. In fact, the on the tube, as it displays on the tube map, the Northern Line's Charion Cross branch parallels the Bakerloo Line all the way as far as Lambeth North, where the Bakerloo Line turns away towards Elephant and Castle. Embankment is also the station where they use the classic Oswald Lawrence Mind the Gap announcements, but only on the Northern Line platforms. Funnily enough, Embankment's also been known as Charion Cross and has gone through various name changes before taking its current name, I think, in the late 70s, early 80s. Embankment is, of course, close to the River Thames, hence its name. Bakerloo Line passes beneath. Next station stop is at Waterloo. Between Embankment and Waterloo, the Bakerloo Line does have floodgates which can be closed in the event of an emergency, and they are interlocked with the signals which would prevent a train being trapped underneath the river. The floodgates were installed after the Second World War, I believe. I was speeding up for that 35, but it's just dropped back down to 30. And here we are at the very curvy platform at Waterloo. Which is the fourth major mainline terminus. Interchange for the Northern Line and the Waterloo and City Line, and also the Jubilee Line, and of course the mainline terminus of South Western Railway, and once a terminus of Eurostar trains before their diversion into St Pancras. Next station stop is at Lambeth North. It's also the final intermediate stop before Elephant and Castle. Few hundred yards. That's the problem. The upcoming speed on the HUD keeps changing, because it just said 20 and now it's just jumped up to 30. Anyway, we're in Lambeth North now. Just came in a bit too hot there. I'll just unlock the doors. You can just about see the mirrors and monitors there. and our next and final stop is at Elephant and Castle. I think I've enjoyed this scenario more than the last video, and I think that's just purely because we've had more stations to stop at in quick succession, and we're always constantly adjusting the speed of the train. And here we are at Elephant and Castle, practically with a blink of, within a blink of an eye. I'll just drop the speed of the train right down as there is a red signal. So I don't really want to come in too fast, because if we in Train Sim World, if you overshoot a red signal, the game will end automatically. And I don't think you can turn that off, unlike Train Simulator. I don't know why they've probably done that, so that you don't end up overrunning the red signals and running into the back of another train, because that would get them in hot water with all the train operating companies that they have licenses for their branding. Anyway, we're here at Elephant and Castle, final station, so we'll just wait for the instruction to clear and we'll see how we did. I think we did alright. We had a couple of speeding infringements, and there we are. Thank you for completing this run. Let's see how you performed. So I'll have a look. But like I said in the last video, I'm really not too fussed about the scoring aspect of Train Sim World. I'm more fussed about just the simulation of the train. So if you don't like the career scenarios of the Train Sim Classic series, then this probably isn't for you. But I know why they've done the scoring thing. I mean, you do get some once you've learned to master how a train works, then you do get a real sense of satisfaction when you learn all the ins and outs of the trains that you are given to drive. But I just find the level up system pointless, because you don't get any rewards for it other than your own satisfaction of mastering each route and train. But anyway, that is the end of the scenario, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed this one more than the last one. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it, and take care.